Hey everyone, it's Lindsay here from Primrose Cottage. We are getting ready to start the North Pole stitch along and we are so excited. We have a lot of information for you and we thought just doing a video with all the info in one spot would be really helpful for you guys. So first of all, this is the piece right here. Welcome to the North Pole. We released this at, hang on, let me find my... We released this at Nashville Needlework Market this year, and we decided it would be a lot of fun to do a stitch along with you guys to keep everyone motivated. This is a big piece, but it's manageable. We're gonna break it up into 6 sections, and so I'm gonna break that down for you guys. We're gonna go over cloth, the buttons, if you wanna put buttons on yours, the frame, and hopefully I answer all of your questions in this video. If I don't, please leave a comment below and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So the schedule, we have posted the schedule like on our Instagram page and our newsletter. You can print this off if you want or write it down. So we're starting June 1st is the first section. There are 6 sections in the piece. We're starting here, but there are no rules. If you are like, I only want to do 1 or 2 sections, pick a section you want to do and do it. Or if you're like a middle starter or a bottom starter, whatever floats your boat, we're just here to keep you motivated to keep stitching and have fun stitching. So section 1 is Welcome to the North Pole. Section 2 is the train. Section 3 is the snowman. Section 4 is the hot cocoa. Section 5 is the town, and section 6 is Mr. and Mrs. Claus. So June 1st through November, but go at your own pace. Like I said, if you don't want to do the whole thing, pick a section, make minis. You can even pick individual elements of the pattern and make them into little pillows or smalls. So you're the boss of how you want this to go. And we are all here at Primrose Cottage. We are all stitching it in our own way. And some of us are just stitching a section. Some of us are stitching the whole thing. So we're really excited. We have the floss packs. So the floss, I charted this with several different manufacturers. We have Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, Gentle Art, and DMC. But I do want to point out on the back of the chart, in the red is your DMC conversion. So it's easily available to you. So if you want to just do the DMC, that's great. I think my mom is doing the DMC conversion. The other thing is the button pack. And this is optional. We ended up, after the fact it was stitched, I was like, oh my gosh, wouldn't this look so cute with some added buttons to each section? So we got into contact with just another button company and we curated this really cute button pack. And I'm going to go through each section and show you where the button goes. One thing you need to consider, you don't really need to stitch, if you're going to put the button on, you don't need to stitch that motif where the button goes if you don't want to. In fact, there is a one of the pieces where I would recommend not stitching it and just putting button, and I will show you. So let's go through that really quick. Grab it here, and I need to bring up my picture. Okay. So the first section, we don't have any buttons and they're not attached yet. We haven't attached them. I am going to be attaching them to this piece. We have had this stitched again. Sorry, I'm kind of all over the place, but I really want to show you this. This is on linen, 32 count, stitched by Connie Dunn. And you guys, I mean, look how beautiful. We haven't framed it yet, but it is so beautiful. If you want the buttons to go on, I would recommend stitching it on the called for cloth or the same stitch count, because that's how we place the buttons. Okay, so you have on the train, there's a blue present. So there's the blue present goes here. And then we have on the snowman section, there is a red button that goes here on this cute little snowman. The hot cocoa bar, there are 2 square buttons that go here, and we're gonna attach a picture, and we'll post one in our newsletter so you can see the button placement, so you can refer back. There's 2 cute little pinwheels here. The mini pinwheels go here, and the large pinwheel goes here. We have 2 star buttons in the pack. This star, I would not stitch out the star if you're going to put the button, because the button is a little bit smaller. So I would not stitch this star. And then the other star goes here. And the snowflakes, I don't have my picture sitting here, but we did 2 snowflake buttons, or was there just one? There's just 1 snowflake, and I believe we put that in the snowman section, but I will let you know in the picture. I have a picture where each button goes, and I will kind of like do a diagram for you guys. And then there's 2 birds, 2 birds right here, right here. I wouldn't stitch those if you're going to put the button. I would just put the button right where the birds go, is kind of how I would approach it. We will take a close-up of each section with the button and post it in our newsletter and our Instagram, so you guys can have access to that and can refer easily to the button placement. So button packs, I know they're sold out right now. We plan on getting more of these, so if you get our newsletter, that's going to be the best place to find when we restock things. And I do apologize, it is hard to keep things in stock right now. There's a shortage of pretty much all cross-stitching supplies, it seems like. And so just be patient with us, because we're trying to get as much as we can. It's just, there's so many of you doing this stitch along, which just makes my heart so happy. And so we want to make sure everyone has the chance to get their supplies. Same with the floss packs. I think we're sold out right now, but we're going to try and keep them in stock for you guys as the stitch along progresses, because I know there will be more and more involvement as people start posting. And I do want to mention Fat Quarter Shop, Kimberly, she is stitching along. Be sure to check out her floss tube. She talks about it each week, and we're looking forward to seeing her progress. So a lot of people are stitching along, and I'm just so excited, you guys. It's so much fun. So as far as cloth, the model was stitched on 28 count light taupe. Now we've caused a shortage on the light taupe, you guys. And it is selling out faster than we can get it in stock. And I know that's true for pretty much everyone in the industry right now. This one we did stitch on, Connie stitched this for us on the 32 flax linen. Great alternative. It is more muted on the linen. She stitched it 1/2. So it's going to look different depending on what cloth and how many threads you use. If you want the more saturated look of the original, do 2 threads over 2, and you're gonna get that nice saturated look. I kind of pulled some alternatives for you guys. 28 count wheat is very, very similar to 28 light taupe. This would probably be the most similar, in my opinion, is this cloth for the original. I mean, they're almost identical. And then for our Aida stitchers, natural light in 14 count, this is a good alternative. And if you're doing Aida, 2/2 would look beautiful. We have the if you like a softer cloth, I picked the 16 count French Cafe Mocha. This has a very similar tone to the original. It is very soft. If you like a stiffer cloth, this is not going to be for you, but if you don't mind the softer cloth, this is a great alternative. And then mushroom 25 count. So mushroom 25 count is the same as vintage country mocha. It's just the vintage country mocha has the modeling on it, whereas the mushroom is a solid piece. There's no modeling. I also want to mention, I didn't bring it out here, but if you like kind of the look of a more gray cloth, Stormy Night 25 would look beautiful. It would look very much like a winter wonderland, I think. So the only thing with that one is I don't think it would match the frame if you plan on trying to get a frame, which I'll talk about in a second. What else? What I would do if you're not sure what cloth you want to do, this is my recommendation, and this is what I've started having my model stitchers do, is I tell them to swatch it out, meaning at the top of your cloth, do like a 9 patch of stitches, so a block of 9 stitches, and do every color and kind of separate them so you can see, you know, the negative space, and see how each color looks on your cloth, if it shows up enough, if it is the look you want. That way you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache later, because you don't want to get to a point where like, oh, I should have picked a different cloth and you've already stitched a lot. So swatch it out. In fact, I think that should be a hashtag, swatch it out. Swatch out your floss colors, and just on the cloth you're going to pick. I know it seems like a daunting task, but that hour you're going to spend putting in those stitches, even if you just do like 6 stitches, or I think 9 is the minimum, because you will get a better look, a better block of color. Especially your white. There is a lot of white in the stitch, and as you can see on the linen, it is very much lighter, which I actually adore how muted this is. It's not like super bright and in your face, but I also love the brightness. So really, whatever floats your boat is going to, your piece is going to look beautiful no matter what. So let's talk about the frame. So the frame was custom built by my dad. His shop is on Etsy. It's called Moore, M-O-O-R-E, Men, M-E-N, made. These frames are made out of 100% walnut, and it is actually, it's been really hard for him to find good quality walnut where we are. And so he's making them in smaller batches, and he said he will continue to make them as long as there's demand. So they do require a lot of work, They are all carved. It's a present. So when we were working together trying to figure out what to do, is I imagined this in a present. So this is like a gift box with the bow on top. And he puts so much work into these. Just the lacquer, because we don't stain it. This is the natural color of walnut, which I adore. He just does lacquer, and that process alone can take 4 days per frame. And so that kind of gives you an idea of how much work goes into those. We will try and let you know when he's going to do a release, so you guys can have a heads up. He is not doing pre-orders just because there's really no way for him to know how much walnut he can get. He's going all the time and getting as much as he can, but he also wants to make sure you guys get a quality frame. I think that's it on the frame. So just, if you watch our live floss tube and our newsletter, we'll try and keep you up to date in our Instagram page. Let's see. We'll post the picture of the buttons so you can more clearly see where they go. And I think that's it. We are, a couple weeks and we're going to be starting this. We're really excited. We want you guys to use the hashtag PC, so Primrose Cottage, PC, welcome to the North Pole. Tag us, because we're going to be doing giveaways throughout the whole process. My dad has donated a frame, this frame in particular. One of you, who, if you're stitching along and you're posting your progress, we are gonna have one winner win the custom frame from my dad. So be sure to post on your Instagram page or Facebook. And let's have fun. This is supposed to be fun. This is, it is a big piece, but I formatted the pattern in a way that it's easy to follow, that there's not frustration when you're stitching it, especially for my stitchers who are kind of newer. I mean, this seems like a huge piece to undertake if you're a new stitcher, but the way I did the chart, in fact, I'll just show you kind of this page. I don't mind, it's not the full thing, but I've split it in half so that you can easily just do one section at a time. And at the bottom of the pattern on each section, I did a picture so that you can reference it. I know when I've used larger patterns and I'm constantly having to flip for the key or to see where it meets, it gets frustrating. So that, when I formatted the pattern, that was my whole thought process, was let's make this as easy as possible for you guys when you're stitching it. I think that's it. Again, we're starting June 1st, but go at your own pace. You can start now. In fact, I've been seeing people working on theirs, and it's so much fun. And let's just keep each other excited and motivated. And by November, you're gonna have this stunning piece that you're gonna be like, oh my gosh, did I just stitch that? Like, it's so gratifying to know that you put that much work, and it's so beautiful. If there's any questions, just leave them below. We'll keep checking back and try and answer those. And like always, we're here every Thursday on FlossTube at 10 o'clock. So come join us every Thursday, and we're going to be talking about this probably every FlossTube, just touching on it and showing everybody's progress. So, so excited that you guys are joining us, and we can't wait to see your progress, and we will talk soon.